What's up, YouTube? It's your girl, Xero. You may know me as Xero the Vampire Clown from the hit KOFY TV show Circus of Chaos. You may also know me as the lead singer of the world's worst hypo-negative tribute band, None More Negative. But I am here today to speak with you about my most recent piercing experience, having just gotten my pair of vertical labret piercings. They are today 15 days old. I got them done just the day before quarantine started here in the Bay Area, which ended up being a rather good idea because I didn't have to really do any talking ever since throughout the whole healing process. I've just been able to rest and focus on healing. And luckily, they are healing up pretty good. My lip is still a little swollen, but nowhere near as swollen as it was, as I'll go into in a moment. But yeah, you can see now there is even a little extra space on the jewelry. Thank God, because for a minute there, I was worried that my lip was going to be too swollen and I would have to take the jewelry out because the shop then closed for quarantine 2 days after I got them done. So I wouldn't have been able to go back and get longer jewelry like I normally would have. Anyways, yeah, I decided to go to Industrial Tattoo in Berkeley, just off of Telegraph Avenue. The reason that I had never been there before, but the reason I went there is because my favorite piercer of all time, Paul Shinichi, now works there. I have been getting pierced by him since at least 2007. I've gotten at least like 5 piercings done by him back when he worked at Braindrops on Haight in San Francisco. God rest its soul. But yeah, I was really, really stoked that even though Braindrops is no longer with us, that he is still piercing at Industrial. At the time, it was every Sunday. I'm not sure if that will still be his schedule once they open up again. But anyways, I went there with my good friend and bandmate, Meowton. I really wasn't even sure the shop was going to be open since I didn't think that in the midst of the coronavirus scare, people would want to be getting pierced and tattooed, but apparently they did. It was totally packed. We had to wait about 20 minutes to see someone, and then they had me fill out some paperwork and select the jewelry that I wanted. And then we had to wait probably another 20 minutes or so until Paul was ready to pierce me. But it was a really beautiful shop to hang out in. There's a lot of gorgeous high-end body jewelry to gawk at, as well as art all over the walls, and the portfolios of the tattoo artists are really fun to look through as well. So we were not bored, and once it was time for me to get pierced, we were informed that unfortunately Meowton could not come back into the room with me and hold my hand, which is like why I wanted him there, due to social distancing policies. So we understood, and honestly, I wasn't nervous because whenever Paul pierces me, like, I'm in good hands. He always does a fantastic job and is also really good at soothing me and kind of putting me in like a meditative trance so that the piercings like don't even hurt that much. It's really cool. But anyways, so I went back into the room and he first marked the placement, and he informed me that he was going to do the top part a little further back than some people get them, and this is because these piercings tend to migrate forward. So yeah, so that's why it's a little higher up than you sometimes see, but I really like it like this. Yeah, I think it looks great. But anyways, yeah, so he marked it and he got the markings like in the perfect spots on the first try, which was really cool. And then he had me lie down on the table and he pierced me pretty quickly. They really didn't hurt that bad, as I said. Like, I was very calm, and yeah, so It was not bad at all, but the jewelry insertion like made me cringe. I'm not gonna lie, but it was quick, so that really wasn't that bad either. And when they were done, I was super happy with them. And he told me that my lip was swelling already. So I tried to get my hands on some ibuprofen as soon as possible and some ice. Those were both really helpful for the first couple days. I had to take ibuprofen every 4 hours for the first 48 hours. And then after that, I had to keep taking it pretty much all through the first week. My lip swelled quite a bit, and unfortunately, the jewelry that we used did not have that much extra space. One side healed up really good, had no problems whatsoever, but the other side swelled up so much that the top bead actually started embedding into my lip, which was my worst fear. It's not fun to have that happen. I mean, normally, like I said, you can go back to the shop and just have them put in longer jewelry, but I did not have that option since the store closed shortly after I got the piercings. But luckily, Paul made himself available for me for questions online, which was really gracious of him, and I definitely took advantage because I was really worried about just making sure that these healed up really good, and they did. Hooray! So the ibuprofen was really helpful. After like day 6, I no longer needed to take that anymore, so that was cool. As far as aftercare, it was actually really easy. This was my first time getting pierced in 7 years, and back when I was getting pierced before, the protocol was to soak your piercings in a saline solution twice a day for 10 minutes each time, which is a big pain in the ass. It was like the worst part of getting pierced, but Paul told me that that is no longer recommended, and that they now recommend just cleaning it once a day with soap. And not all piercers recommend soap, but Paul did, and I have always used soap. So I went ahead and did that again, and I used the soap that he recommended, which is Dr. Bronner's baby soap. It's very gentle and mild. And you just do that. You just soap your fingers up and then clean the piercing area very gently, just once a day. Other than that, you want to use a sterile saline spray to clean them using a Q-tip, just to clean any discharge, blood, crust that forms, and it does happen. I lucked out this time. There was not a lot of crap that I had to clean off. One of them was bleeding quite a bit the next day, but other than that, it's been very minimal. So yeah, you want to clean with the sterile saline solution, and they recommend the one by the brand Neilmed. It's like in a blue spray bottle, and you do that 3 times a day. And other than that, it's just a matter of keeping your lips or your piercings clean, and keeping any irritating substances away from them. So you don't want to eat any spicy foods or what's it called? Citrusy foods. Can't think of the word right now for some reason. Anyways, yeah, citrusy foods will irritate it. You don't want to smoke while they're healing. You don't want to kiss. They take usually about 6 to 8 weeks to heal completely. You don't want to submerge them in water at all. Showering is okay, but don't submerge them like in a bath or in any body of water. That can get them infected very easily. No lipstick, no lip balm. Your lips will get really dry and chapped from doing all that cleaning though. Mine still are a little bit, but they were really bad the first couple days before I started using pure natural vitamin E oil, which Paul said that was okay, but you still don't want to get that right on the piercings. You want to just like do it in the middle here and on the sides. That's it. But that has been really, really helpful. I highly recommend that. I hear that the natural one is a lot better than the synthetic one, and you can tell by looking at the ingredients. The synthetic will say tocopherol acetate. The natural says something like D-alpha tocopherol. It's kind of hard to find. But yeah, I think that I have gone over everything you need to know. Oh, other than that, like, eating hasn't been a problem for me. You definitely don't want to like bite into an apple or anything where like it's gonna smash your lip. That won't be fun while it's healing. Like you want to just take small bites and just like kind of shovel it in the back of your mouth so as not to like get food on the piercings as much as you can help it. I mean, I'm kind of a slob when I eat. I definitely got food all over my piercings, but I just made sure to clean them with that saline solution afterwards, and they're doing just fine. Drinking from a glass is just a little weird because you'll feel the metal hit the cup, but luckily, like, mine weren't sore or painful at all during the healing process, so that wasn't a problem for me. But if it is for you, you can always drink through a straw. And then the only other thing is that I am going to go back at some point, like when the shop opens back up, to get the jewelry shortened a little bit because it's just a little bit too long. But yeah, I highly recommend them. They were great. Yeah. If you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer them in the comments. And that's it. Thank you for watching.